Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and historic coins in American history, the 1943 Lincoln Steel penny with no mint mark. This small coin carries a powerful story from the time of World War II, and its value today might surprise you. Let's begin. In 1943, the United States was deeply involved in World War II. Copper was a critical metal needed for military equipment like ammunition and electrical wiring. Because of this shortage, the US Mint made a dramatic change. Instead of using copper, they produced pennies using steel coated with zinc. This is how the famous 1943 Lincoln Steel penny was born. Now, the version we are focusing on today is the one with no mint mark. That means it was minted in Philadelphia, as coins from this mint traditionally did not carry a mint mark during that time. At first glance, this coin looks very different from regular pennies. It has a silver or grey appearance instead of the usual reddish-brown copper color. This unique look often surprises collectors and beginners alike. On the front of the coin, you'll see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1943. On the back, the coin features the classic wheat ears designed with the words 1 cent and United States of America. Now let's talk about condition, because condition is everything when it comes to coin value. A coin described as being in bad condition likely refers to a heavily worn or circulated coin, meaning it has been used a lot over time. In such condition, the coin may show scratches, fading details, and discoloration. So what is the value of a 1943 Lincoln Steel penny with no mint mark in today's market? In heavily circulated or poor condition, this coin is generally worth around 10 cents to 50 cents. Yes, that's above face value, but still quite modest. If the coin is in average circulated condition, it may be worth between 50 cents and $2. However, if you find one in excellent uncirculated condition, the value can jump significantly, ranging from $5 to $20 or even more, depending on its shine and detail. And here's something exciting. If the coin is in near perfect condition with no rust, no scratches, and strong luster, it can reach $50 or higher in the collector's market. But be careful. These steel pennies are known to rust over time because of their metal composition. Coins with rust spots or damage lose value quickly. Also, many fake or altered coins exist. Some copper 1943 pennies are extremely rare and valuable, but most are counterfeits. So always verify your coin before assuming it's rare. In conclusion, the 1943 Lincoln Steel penny with no mint mark is a unique piece of history from World War II. While most are not extremely valuable, their story, appearance, and collectible appeal make them a must-have for coin enthusiasts. So check your coin collections carefully. You might already have one of these historic coins sitting unnoticed. .ne, the 1974 United States bicentennial $1 coin with the D-Mint mark. This coin is not just currency, it's a symbol of celebration, history, and collectible value. Let's begin with a quick background. The United States bicentennial coins were created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, marking the year 1776 to 1976. Although many people think these coins were only minted in 1976. Production actually began earlier, including in 1974, as part of preparation for the grand celebration. The coin we are focusing on today carries the D Mint mark, which means it was produced at the Denver Mint. This mint mark can be found on the coin and is an important detail for collectors because it helps identify where the coin was made. Now let's talk about the design. On the obverse side, you will see the familiar portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, honoring his leadership and legacy. On the reverse side, The design changes to a unique and patriotic image, the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. This powerful design represents both American independence and its achievements in space exploration. Moving on to the condition. The coin we are discussing is in good condition. This means the coin has visible wear from circulation, but the main features and design are still clear. It's not in mint state, but it still holds value, especially for collectors who appreciate historical coins. Now the big question: what is the value of this coin in today's market? A 1974 bicentennial-style Eisenhower dollar with AD mint mark in good condition typically has a market value ranging between $1 to around $3. Yes, that might sound close to its face value. But remember, value depends heavily on condition, rarity, and demand. If the coin were in uncirculated condition or had special features like silver composition or errors, the value could be significantly higher. Sometimes reach ING 10 to $50 or more. But for a standard circulated coin in good condition, the value remains modest. Even though the price may not be very high, the historical significance of this coin makes it a valuable addition to any collection. It represents a major milestone in American history and reflects a time of national pride and celebration. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip for collectors. Always check your coins carefully for mint marks, condition, and any unusual errors. Sometimes, small details can make a big difference in value. Next coin. The 1980 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin with the FG mint mark. This small but powerful coin carries a unique story, and if you have one in good condition, it might be worth more than you think. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was first introduced in 1979 and continued into 1980 as part of an effort by the United States Mint to replace the larger Eisenhower dollar with a more practical, everyday coin. It was also the first US coin to feature a real historical woman, honoring the legendary women's rights activist Susan B. Anthony. On the front of the coin, you'll see the portrait of Susan B. Anthony. The initials FG appear just below her shoulder. These initials stand for Frank Gasparro, the chief engraver of the United States Mint, who designed the coin. Flip the coin over, and you'll find an eagle landing on the moon, a design originally used on the Eisenhower dollar. This reverse pays tribute to the Apollo 11 moon landing, one of the greatest achievements in American history. Now let's talk about the value. A 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar with the FG mark in good condition is generally worth between $1 and $3 in today's market. Because millions of these coins were minted, they're still quite common. However, coins in better condition, such as uncirculated or near mint state, can be worth $5 to $15 or even more, depending on their quality and luster. Collectors look for sharp details, minimal scratches, and strong shine. If your coin shows very little wear and still has its original mint luster, it could be more desirable to collectors. Another important factor is the mint mark. In 1980, these coins were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While the FG initials are part of the design and not a mint mark, collectors sometimes mistakenly refer to them that way. True mint marks like D or S can also influence the coin's value. In summary, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar may not be extremely rare, but it remains an important and historic coin. It represents a turning point in US currency design and honors a woman who helped change history. So check your coin collections carefully. That small dollar coin might still hold both historical and collectible value. Next coin. The 1993 Canadian 1-cent coin with the KG Mint mark. The Canadian 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, was a staple of everyday transactions in Canada for over a century before it was officially discontinued in 2012. The 1993 issue is part of the later era pennies and features a design that many collectors still admire today. Let's start with the design. On the obverse side, the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This elegant depiction was created by Dorothy Pedery Hunt and was used on Canadian coins from 1990 to 2003. Surrounding the portrait, you'll find the inscription Elizabeth to DG Regina, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. Now moving to the reverse side, we see the iconic maple leaf twig design. This symbol represents Canada's national identity and is one of the most recognizable elements in Canadian coinage. The year 1993 is clearly marked along with the denomination 1 cent. One interesting detail collectors often look for is the mint mark or initials. In this case, the KG mark refers to engraver or design-related initials, which can add a layer of uniqueness and desirability for collectors, even though Canada did not widely use traditional mint marks like some other countries. Now let's talk about the coin's composition. The 1993 Canadian penny is made primarily of copper-plated zinc, giving it that classic reddish-brown appearance. It weighs about 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. When it comes to condition, you mentioned a good condition coin. In numismatic terms, this means the coin shows moderate wear but still retains clear details. It's not uncirculated, but it's also not heavily damaged. So, what is the value of this coin in today's market? In general, a 1993 Canadian 1 cent coin in good condition is quite common. Its market value typically ranges from about 0.05 to 0.20 US dollars. That's right, just a few cents above face value. However, if the coin is in uncirculated condition or has unique features like errors or exceptional luster, the value can increase to around 1 to 3 US dollars or more. Collectors should also watch out for rare varieties, misprints, or coins with unusual toning, as these factors can significantly boost value. Even though this coin may not be extremely valuable in terms of price, it still holds historical importance. It represents a time when the penny was still part of everyday life in Canada. And today, it serves as a reminder of how currency evolves over time. So, if you have a 1993 Canadian penny with KG initials sitting in your collection, don't overlook it. While it may not make you rich, it's definitely a meaningful piece of numismatic history. Next coin. The 1968 Washington quarter dollar with no mint mark. A piece that might still be hiding in your pocket change, but could be worth more than you think. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. By 1968, this coin had already become a staple of everyday American currency. Now let's talk about the 1968 quarter specifically. A 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Starting in 1968, the US Mint resumed placing mint marks on coins, but Philadelphia coins continued to have no mint mark, which makes them easy to identify. This coin is made of a copper nickel clad composition, not silver. Earlier quarters before 1965 contained 90% silver, but by 1968, rising silver prices led to the switch to clad coins. So while this coin doesn't have silver value, it still holds collectible interest. On the front side, you'll see the familiar profile of George Washington facing left, along with the word Liberty above and the motto, In God We Trust. The year 1968 appears at the bottom. On the reverse side, the coin features a majestic eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. The inscriptions, United States of America and quarter dollar, surround the design. Now let's get to the most important part. Value. If you have a 1968 Washington quarter with no mint mark in good condition, its typical market value today ranges from about 0.30 to $1. This is mainly due to its face value and modest collector demand. However, if the coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it shows little to no wear, its value can increase to around $5 to $15 depending on its grade and eye appeal. And here's something exciting. If your coin has exceptional quality, strong luster, and sharp details, high-grade examples can sometimes sell for $20 or more in the collector market. Also, keep an eye out for rare errors, such as off-center strikes or double dies. These errors can significantly boost the coin's value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars depending on rarity. In summary, while the 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark may seem like an ordinary coin, its condition and potential errors can make it a valuable collectible. So next time you come across a quarter, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. You might just be holding a small piece of history with hidden value. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories and value guides. Goodbye, guys.